Help support our coverage using Blueberry, the community that gives creators the ability to make money, get detailed audience measurements, and host their audio and video. Get 30 days to try out the service using promo code Blueberry004. That's BLUBRRY004.
Imre, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Tell us, what was the inspiration for Wiser? How did you come up with this to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, as a curious person who loves learning from newsletters and podcasts, it was a no-brainer for me to start the company. I would always ask around my colleagues, my ex-boss, on what do you read, what do you watch, what do you listen to? And then once I started researching, I found that actually 90% of podcast discovery is word of mouth. So it just became very sensible to start this venture. Wow.
As a podcaster myself, I would have to concur. Yes, it is word of mouth. You can place ads if you want, but it's all about getting word out there and being able to socially share those things with people of like and common interests. So,
absolutely.
How does the platform work?
Yeah, so it works very similar to Pinterest in terms of user experience.
Okay.
Say that you like a podcast on Spotify. You can just save that to Wiser. And our AI engine generates around 100 to 150 tags that describe that specific interest based on the content you share.
Okay.
And then based on that, you get cross-platform recommendations. So YouTube, podcast, newsletter, audiobook or book recommendations all in one place.
So from what you share, it starts giving you content that you might like.
Yeah, you also select categories. You can basically click on any post content on Wiser, and as you scroll down, you get the more like this kind of recommendations.
Okay.
And even YouTube alone. It's not just about Mr. Beast, right? It's a search engine. Many of even the Harvards and the MITs of the world are content creators on YouTube. So. In that vast amount of educational knowledge-based content out there, we think that a solution which combines human curation and AI will cover the needs for all of these lifelong learners.
Okay. And now, of course, one of the issues that you come across, especially with platforms like YouTube, things like that, is preferred content being pushed to you whether you like it or not. Does that happen on Wiser?
No.
Okay.
Because so all of the recommendations on Wiser comes from a community of expert or insider-curated content. And the way we vet users is based on how much readings they do in specific categories. For example, if you're reading more about AI than I do, your recommendation ranks higher, which is very innovative in an industry where all the recommendation engines are based on likes, not the credibility of the source. So in that sense, the way the platform works and recommends content is very different than the status quo.
Interesting. And I mean, this could be fantastic for news use, all kinds of things. I can see numerous ways. What other ways are you looking at leveraging the platform?
So our main acquisition channels have always been knowledge influencers, podcasters, newsletter writers, and we go to these people and say hey, if you can get 100,000 people listen to you in a podcast, these people are also probably interested to see what you read, what you watch, what you listen to, and that's how we kind of spread the word about Wiser. And going forward, we're trying to tackle both the content discovery and the content organization side of the problem, because we also argue that just like having a physical library, in our homes, in a time where we're learning virtually everything in digital media, we need a digital library as well, so you can get back to that podcast or newsletter you learned something from. And both sides of the product, so to say, is developing, and we're excited to see what's next.
That is awesome. Now, how do you go about ranking your experts? How do you go about vetting them, things like that?
We have a process where if we reach out to specific experts, we of course know their backgrounds. If it's the other way around, if we get approached by an academic or some sort of an expert, we just look at their backgrounds and we just let them use the product for a while, and as we see the quality, we vet them, and their recommendation gets ranked higher.
Wow. Now, how long have you been in development on this?
We've been active for 2.5 years. We launched this current version on Product Hunt 2 months ago. We were the second product
awesome.
of the day, and primarily we're getting a lot of American users. I think there's a larger appetite for personal development in the US than we have in Europe. We think it resonates much better with an American audience.
We've definitely had an issue over the last few years with social media, fact checking, things like that. So the fact that there's a platform out there that does that fact checking for you and says hey, if this person is posting something, you can pretty well trust them.
Yeah, I believe that the main problem in media is not content. There's so much of it, and there's so much good quality content out there. The problem is curation. Once an expert or an insider just packages that in a way that makes sense for you, and hey, if you want to learn about AI or generative AI, listen to these podcasts, read these stuff. It's super valuable.
Absolutely. And once again, that personal recommendation is where so much of that listening is no different than hey, what movies did you go out and see this weekend? When you are connected with people, that's a different world of recommendation.
Yeah.
So.
I think the market is only going to grow. More platforms and more different types of content are becoming part of our lives, and as that grows, so does the need for curation.
Absolutely. Well, we've got you for about another minute. What platforms is this available on markets right now? Can you go and download Wiser as we speak?
Yeah, absolutely. We're on App Store. We have many also reputable users as well. For example, Alex Lieberman, who's the founder of Morning Brew. He's a Wiser user. We have many academics, so many people whose recommendations are highly valuable. So we strongly encourage everyone to see it for themselves.
Awesome. Apple and Android, or Apple only?
Both, yeah. Apple and Android. Wiser, pinch it for knowledge. We'd love to have you on the platform.
Awesome. Well, look right there at the camera. Let everybody know where they can go to download the app, where they can go to find more about Wiser.
Yeah, so please go to the App Store or Google Play, search for Wiser, Pinterest for knowledge, and start building your library today, and hopefully we'll recommend you more content you might like.
Awesome. Imre, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having us.
Enjoy the rest of CES. I hope things have been going well for you at your booth.
You too. Yeah, we met many interesting people. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Likewise.
The Tech Podcast Network CES 2024 coverage is executive produced by Michelle Mendez. Technical directors are Kurt Corliss and Adam Barker. Associate producers are Nancy Ertz, Clinton Millsap, Sergio Velasquez, and Terry Willingham. Voiceover by Aaron Hurst. Our hosts are Marlo Anderson, Don Bain, Todd Cochran, Scott Ertz, and Christopher Jordan. Studio and equipment are provided by PLUGHITZ Productions. This has been a Tech Podcast Network broadcast, copyright 2024.